Hi, my name is Napat, and this is my presentation. I start with the market study. Nang Leung Market. Nang Leung Market. I was somehow late in the morning, even though I was on time. What is said in Google that it started at 8 a.m. seemed like it's already been started at 6 a.m. Everything in the market have already been up and running. The reason being that Thai people have a culture of donating in the morning. Buddhism in Thailand allow all monks to eat once a day in the morning. They cannot choose what to eat, and therefore donation is essential to Thai culture. We believe that it lowers your ego if you give food, and receiving donation is a two-way practice. What is market? Food preparation, discussion, breakfast, and conversation. Place to eat, pray, another place to pray. What is below the place of pray is the bike storage. What is behind that is a place to sleep. Can you drink? Yes, you can. What is behind that is an ice shop. Besides the ice shop is the bathroom. You can also brush your teeth in the morning. Can you actually sleep? Yes, you can. You can also make a drive-through. There is enough space, approximately, usually. Market in Thailand seem to be operated more like a community space. With an amazing collection of food, they serve both fresh food, bakery and flour. Nang Leung Market is a place where people live, literally, and also play ping pong. If you don't have enough space to process all this, we have a computer. This computer is powered by God. The power of pray. The only thing that seems lonely in this market is the alcohol stand. The culture of this market here seems to have preserved by the fact that the housing around the market can be adapted to be a shop. A kitchen, a food processing space, a storage, a leisure area, which bleed out onto the market itself. The activity that you can do inside of the house, you can also do inside of the market. The sound of market. What is the sound of market? What do people say in the market? What do they hear? This is not a conversation that exists elsewhere. Not in the supermarket. So what is the conversation that is in the supermarket exactly? Here, by creating a sound clip, creating from the conversation range from more common in the market to the more common at home. This script will be played at the background of the play. There's a surprising different sound and conversation happening in both places. What are the spaces that actually make those sounds? By carefully draw up a classic market typology, I discover the Normandic typology. This seems to surround with the impermanent object that can collapse and fold into a small box. The shop often sell irregularly. The market, the created space for seller, the permanent shop stands, and building shelter. This sell in the market time or until the food run out. A shop house. A 2 to 4 story narrow row house that have a staircase inside, with a shop on the first floor, open and close in their own time. And grocery store, 2 to 4 story space with branded shop, often sell for 24 hours. What present in this space is the same object, different shape of structure, and different narrative. What I decided to do is to combine the objects and the narrative in an act to bring out the narrative of the object and space through the sound and the conversation. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the space is talking.
แห้งจ้าทำได้จ้าได้ไหมจ้า50 บาทนี่แล้วขออยากซื้อได้ครับเนื้อเลยนะจับน้ำเนี่ยโอ้ยทั้งนั้นเลยเนื้อทั้งนั้นแหละไม่โดนถึงนะก็ได้เอาคุณฟ้าทำอะไรอ่ะนี่จะคนปัญหานี่จะคนละลายทำอะไรก็มีแต่เรื่องเลยไม่ทำไงเป็นหน้าเรามีแค่นี้ของเราของกินทำไมแบบว่าเหมือนเอาแบบก่อนอะไรให้เขาแบบนั่งรถนั่งเนี่ยนายเพิ่งตื่นจะเตรียมความพร้อมกันอยู่ตลอดเวลาให้มีการเฝ้าระวังกันอย่างต่อเนื่องสำหรับพายุลูกใหม่นะคะที่จะเข้ามาในสัปดาห์หน้านะคะต้องดูว่าจะมีผลกระทบกับในพื้นที่นี้หรือไม่ค่ะไม่เป็นไรเอาที่จะหมายใจเดี๋ยวจะต้องปีนี้จะต้องดูเรื่องตอนนี้ยังอยู่เลยวะยังกระถิ่นเรายังไม่รอดละ
My project, Speak Space Spirit. I begin by looking further into the difference between market and shopping mall. Market and shopping mall have many things in common, such as community space for buying and selling of goods. One of the key difference I see is a space that encourages conviviality. With this reason, I found a site in Bangkok, Thailand in the district of Din Dang, which is the highest density population per kilometers. The interesting thing about the site is that it have two really large public housing, and underneath there are two very popular market that cannot be found on Google. The site is at the west edge of the district, next to the very high traffic road, bringing the non-local to the three very popular supermarket close to the site. The site also have a night market, which is currently shut down. The three shopping malls are fully open. The site is a threshold space for market and supermarket, and for local and the non-local. I am looking to design two things in order to create the conviviality of the space: the sound source of the space and the space environment that the sound is in. Through my research, I have found 6 different ideas that create communication in space. First is confrontation, a space for the people to force to confront each other and therefore negotiate for ways. An infinite space. If the space seems infinite, then people must ask for location of things. Temporal. The fact that things are movable means that object can be shifted and negotiation is needed. Livable. If the space is livable, they feel belong and easier to talk to. If there's no way finding, people will have to ask for direction. And people are more keen to remember the space in order for them to not get lost. Things that are similar to each other can be exchanged. And exchange takes communication. From all that concept, I try to visualize the architecture by creating a simple shape of the element of the building that have that logic. I create 3 spaces for each of different rules and try to relate them to each other. The result is each space have different hidden ability and the dot of color represented them. To understand this space further, I create a sequence of space from the picture of my experience through the market. Then pair each of the space to the location. By creating the timeline for the footage of all my market, I found that they can be split into 6 categories of sequence: entrance, shopping, housing, sitting, leisure, and exit. I also documented the local community experience. I aligned the logic on top of my site. By gridding the site, I then fit all the data onto the site. Then I started to look at the timeline of activity of the local people and overlaying it on top of the grid. To visualize the architecture with simple elements I found on site, also looking at the clip of the sound, confronting space, and the material can create the exact sound. I then recreate the environment which produce different sound and align them with the experience of market and reflect it with the sound wave of the market. On the other hand, we can also look at the sound source, which will fill the picture of the function, which can further inform the space of what the function does the space used for. In mapping my experience of sound source in the market over the existing space, we can find which space are used for what, and hopefully recreate the conviviality exist in the market.
เดินมาทันได้ไง